Hey guys, it's Rob from Team DBZ Biscuit, and we're back, and we're here with a twist on one of my old favorites. It's a very anti-meta Banish deck, and as you can tell by the world's most confusing text on the card, any card ever made for Yu-Gi-Oh! I started off with Inspector Border. You know, it's been good. The deck runs really well. I run 2 Inspector Borders. Opponent can't activate effects that are actually more than the amount of the type of monster on the field, such as Link, Synchro, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. But it's a really great card because it really does slow people down. Okay, I follow that up with 2 Fossil Dynas. Fossil Dyna, somebody turn 1, hook a safe zone up to it, no special summoning for the whole game. People tend to want to flip the table. Now the deck will start to take a really familiar look as we run 3 Gren Majus. Gren Maju gets 400 for every card banished, and as before, they haven't changed the text, they haven't errated it. Doesn't care if it's face up, face down, inside out, backwards, cartwheeling, spinning, shredding, whatever it wants to do. It still gains 400, and it can go from 0 to 4K just like by playing Desires. That followed up by 2 Necroface. Necroface has double purpose. He helps banish cards, but if you're getting really close to decking out and 98% of your deck is banished, you just normal summon him and put everything back and just reset the whole game. Really great card, Necroface. Want it back at 3. I would love to see it back at 3. That followed up with 3 Banisher Radiance. Again, it's an anti-meta build, so I'll tell you right now, I'll spoil one of the surprises. I am running Safe Zone in the deck. So you put a Banisher out there at 1600 attack, hook up a Safe Zone, everything's getting banished no matter what, unless they get rid of Safe Zone first. And then the real fun part about it is if you're having trouble getting a big monster out there, you just put him in defense mode and Safe Zone protects him. That followed up by 3 of the most ridiculous card Konami ever made, Eater of Millions. You know, and that's basically the reasoning on having an extra deck for this deck, is to bring him out. And the fact that he can just banish and banish and banish. Unless you Veiler him or unless you have some card that stops his effect. He's pretty ridiculous. That followed up by, still wondering why it's a common, but I hear rumor that it's going to be either a ultra or a super rare in the new Battle of Legends booster pack coming out. Pancreatops is great. Special summon him out, pop a card on the field with his effect, or you can just swing at him. He's beefy. He's bigger and beefier than a Cyber Dragon at 2600 attack, so you might want to swing first. And then the neat thing about it is somebody says, like Torrential Tribute or Bottomless or some ridiculously stupid trap card like that, you can still activate his effect and pop whatever they're not activating. Ridiculous. And I'm running 1 just because I like it in my Banish build, Aloof Lupine. This is the anti-meta version, so Aloof Lupine, if I get him and I get a Necroface, I'm banishing 10. Straight up. Actually 12, because I'll banish both Necrofaces. But regardless, that's the monster lineup, not too monster heavy. I run a series of 1/4 spell cards. I run the D-Fissure just to send monsters out of play. I still run the 1/4 Gold Sark because it's just, you know, you need that extra potential of having to deck out and have a Necroface come back to your hand. That's the main purpose of the Gold Sark. Or if Necroface is already out, I'll Gold Sark or Gren Maju. That way I got at least an 8000 attack power monster sitting in my hand in 2 turns. One for 1 day apiece, draw a card. I find out it's best to activate it after you've done damage to your opponent. They get upset about it because they already took the damage. So, you know, and another one for Regeki. Regeki, just to wipe your opponent's field, and if this is out there and you wipe their field, they'll get upset with you. That's okay. They'll get over it. Another card, and it's an annoying card because it just keeps recurring itself, is Moonmirror Shield. Moonmirror Shield takes something like a Fossil Dino, and it will turn him, say somebody has a Blue Eyes White Dragon out there, you hook this up to a Fossil Dino, Fossil Dino is 3100 and he kills the Blue Eyes. Ridiculous. I run also 2 pot of dualities, just so I can get my space fillers. It really helps in getting the space fillers. Like if you have desires and you have Maju and you mill it, you know, you play duality, you do a eater. You know what? Grab that eater. It'll wait a turn, and you'll OTK your opponent next turn. Mandatory 3 potted desires. Potted desires is great. Banish 10, draw 2. It's amazing. You know, I'll do that all day long if I have to. And also on the spell cards, I run 2 Cosmic Cyclones for pesky spell cards. I mean, pesky spell cards such as Pendulum monsters, like Arc Dragon, Arc Pendulum, Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum, whatever the hell that thing is Manual is running lately. And this isn't actually, I gotta give Manual credit for this. I'm running 2 Foolish Burials with goods, and the reason I'm doing that is I'm also running 1 Metaphose Fusion. If I can do that, I Foolish Burial with goods, Metaphose Fusion, send it to the grave, Metaphose Fusion effect, I get to draw a card. But it's a really interesting combo when it comes off, and the only time it really hurts is when you draw the same card you just put back. It does happen, and strangely enough. Alright, and on to the trap lineup. It wouldn't be banished without Macrocosmos. Macrocosmos doesn't say I only banish monsters, I just banish everything. Spells, traps, pendulum monsters, Odd Eyes Arc Pendulum, all of those things. Yes. In case you haven't figured it out, I am bashing Emmanuel's Arc Pendulums. Because that deck is annoying. I know you guys love it, but guess what? I can't stand it! Konami, ban Electromite. Alright, after that, I run 3 copies of Save Zone. Save Zone, honestly, is like at least an 8-year-old card from way back in the days of like Light Swarms and stuff like that, but it is such a ridiculously good card with this deck. Like I said, you put this thing up on a Fossil Dyna, and guess what? No special summons. You know, you put it on a Banisher of Radiance, everything's going to get banished, and you're not going to be able to destroy it. I mean, I'll play Dark Hole, and my monster will still be on the field with this card out there. It's ridiculous. You got to get rid of Save Zone to get rid of that monster, essentially. And the final trap card, I think it's a 41 card deck. I am running 2 mistakes. Honestly, I would probably prefer to run Thunder King Ryos. Unfortunately, I don't have any, and it's, you know, looking around for them, it's hard enough to find them. But 2 mistakes really slows down decks, such as, you know, anything. Say somebody's playing gadgets or something weird like that. You can't add anything to hand with a mistake on the field. You know, and it's just a really, really good card. It's a really good card unless you do have Thunder King, and I don't have Thunder King right now. So, but that's the main deck. The extra deck, I run a couple Called by the Graves. Called by the Grave is good because your opponent needs their graveyard. I also run 3 DD Crows because, again, your opponents need their graveyards. And I'm not sure how the next side deck card will work against this New World Burn deck of Mystic Mine and, you know, that burn deck, but I'm still running 3 Denko Seikas just to shut out Altergeist. And honestly, it does a number on Altergeist. Salamander Greats, you may ask, Rob, how do you deal with Salamander Greats? You drop them a summon limit on them. You drop a summon limit on a Salamander Great deck, they usually tend to cry because that means they can't get to their Sunlight Wolf, and their other stuff. Summon limit, great card. Running 2 Twin Twisters, like I said, just because some people get pesky back row action going on. And then my final 2 side deck cards are Anti-Spell Fragrances for, let's see, Arc Pendulum decks, and what was that third one? Oh yeah, Arc Pendulum decks. But you know, that's it. That's the side deck. And guys, the extra deck, it's not really a lot, and like I said in the video earlier, it's mainly to bring out it's usually to bring out Eater of Millions, but you know, oddly enough, I ended up putting a side deck card in here that I actually may use as a side deck card, and that is Leviair the Sea Dragon. Let's say you're late game state, you got a Banisher out there on safe zone, you summon another Banisher, you make Leviair, you banish, you detach one, and of course, it's getting banished, and you can bring back a Gren Maju that's face up, because it requires you hit a monster level 4 or lower. Gren Maju will come out at about 12,000. And you know, if you're lucky, you'll get game on that turn. I mean, yes, admittingly, it's not that easy to pull off, but I have pulled it off. And I've run a series of, you know, Deco Talkers. I run some Link Karibos. Link Karibo is a good, you know, it buys time. It can stall for you. That's about it. I mean, you give it up, monster becomes 0. It's a one-trick pony, but it's pretty nice. I run a series of Nightmare Phoenix. A couple Nightmare Phoenixes. Again, pesky back row field spells, such as Sky Iris. And other stuff like that. I run a couple of Borreloads in here. Not really trying to bring out Borreload, like I said. You know, I run a Nightmare Cerberus and a Gaia Saber just because he was beefy and cheap to bring out. You know, 26. What is he? Yeah, he's 2600. He's a Link 2. But he's pretty good. You know, he's pretty beefy. And like I said, most of the extra deck really is meant for bringing out Eater. Eater, you bring out one Eater, that's great. But when your opponent sees you drop, you know, you banish 5 of your extra deck, and they bring out one Eater, and then you banish out 5 more, and you bring out a second. You know, they kind of get red in the face, and after you banish 5 more, and you bring out a third, they just quit. But, you know, that's the deck profile, guys. It's been a while since I've done the deck profile. This is an updated deck profile, you can call it. Anti-meta deck profile of a Banish deck. You know, it does work. Playing on duelingnexus all the time. You know, look forward to seeing you guys out there. I wish I could remember the guy's name. You know, he actually treated me like a rock star on duelingnexus. It's one of the very few people I haven't found that are complete freaking idiots on duelingnexus. You know, and I'd give that guy a shout out if I could remember your screen name. But you know, guys, you want to have fun, build the deck, try the deck, you know, keep your eyes open for more DBZ videos. And this is Robin again, and I am out of here.